Hello there, and welcome to Andre's Artist Profiles. Now, today is the birthday of Morris Day, former sidekick of Prince, and the lead singer and frontman of The Time. Now, I actually have two Morris Day solo albums, one on CD called The Color of Success from 1985, and Daydreaming, the follow-up from 1987 on vinyl. Now, the reason you're not going to see them here is that while the vinyl of Daydreaming is accessible, due to last August's very unsuccessful reshuffling of my CD collection, I cannot find The Color of Success on CD. So today, I am going to be profiling The Time, all of whose albums I'm actually lucky enough to have. Well, one album I have isn't credited to The Time, but I'll get into that as we go. Now, here is The Time's first album from 1981, self-titled. The saying goes that Prince wanted to basically dump his funkier, less commercial material on his former drummer, Morris Day, who actually played on Uptown. As we all know, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis have gone on to a huge, successful production career with Alexander O'Neal, the SOS Band, Janet Jackson, and so on and so forth. And there they are right there. Jesse Johnson, amazing talent and guitar player, is on this album. They used to say that this is a Prince album, that The Time had no creative input in it, and that is under severe dispute from Jesse Johnson and both Morris Day. But no matter who it is, this album has some fantastic funk on it. Get It Up, Cool, The Stick. What more do you need to know? Amazing, amazing record by The Time from 1981. I had the first Time albums on vinyl. There's the back of the original vinyl right there. Kind of like they're being searched. Anyway. Now, this is The Time's second album. I love this album cover. There's Morris Day right there. What time is it? Okay, maybe I sound more like Dave Chappelle, but I love Morris. Okay, what time is it? From 1982. Any album that's going to have a song like 777 93 11 on it with that Lynn drum pattern, or The Walk for that matter, is going to be an amazing album. And Wild and Loose. Okay, you get the picture. And Gigolos Get Lonely too show you they can work a ballad and kind of give you the idea that, yeah, sometimes sex isn't necessarily all where it's at. Anyway, this is a fantastic record by The Time, their second. And this came out, and they toured with Prince with Vanity 6 on the Triple Threat Tour in 1982. And this was the peak of The Time's success. And actually, the last featuring the original lineup here. Shortly after this, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis left when allegedly Prince threw them out of the band because they were producing the SOS Band in California, and Monty Moyer left for his own personal reasons. There's the back of that CD. There's a kind of like a fabric pattern there. So then in 1984, when Purple Rain came out, they appeared in the movie with this lineup, featuring Paul Peterson right there, who would later be part of the spin-off group, The Family, whereas Jesse Johnson and Jerome Benton remained, and Brown Mark was brought into the group. This album, The Time, started to get a little more experimental in 1984. Ice Cream Castle is based on a Joni Mitchell lyric, and they actually had a song on there about interracial romance, a great, interestingly melodic funk jam, but they did a really great funk metal combination on here called My Drawers. But of course, Jungle Love and The Walk are not The Walk, but The Bird are the songs that a lot of people went into this album for and became their strongest. There's also a ballad on here called Chili Sauce, where Prince appears as a waiter. And The Kid Can't Make You Come, I think Prince appears on that as well. It was a big successful album due to their appearance in Purple Rain, but a lot of people over the years didn't think it held up as well as the first two albums. I think it did. I think it's just very Star Company, 1984 Minneapolis. But that was the end of The Time, or it should have been. Many moons later, in 1989, The Time reemerged with Pandemonium, with the original lineup. This album was produced and written internally. Actually, it came out in 1990, I should say. internally, meaning that Morris Day directed it and the Time itself produced this album. A lot of this stuff was drawn from very early sessions that they did with Prince in the mid-'80s, such as Chocolate and Jerk Out, which actually came from just after What Time Is It? And you can hear it. The Lynn Drum Machine pattern and all of that. And the title track is another amazing song on this album. There's some ballads here that are a little bit materialistic and weak, like Donald Trump, Black Version, but materialism, hey, that was the Time's MO. They appeared on Saturday Night Live during this period. It's actually one of their best albums, and I think it's quite underrated, actually. Alright, flash forward years and years ahead. The Time want to reemerge. In fact, I think it was 2011. But what happened was Prince claimed that he owned the name The Time. So, in 2011, the original lineup had to reemerge under a new name, The Original 7. This is the Time album, folks. They just couldn't use the name Time. Prince, I think that's disgusting. I think it's disgusting that he did that, but it's just Prince. Sometimes I think he forgets, who helped make him who he was. I really haven't listened to this album much yet, but from what I've heard, it's severely funky. And of course, it's The Time, so there's Morris in his mirror. He's so cool, So that's the Original 7, but if you ever see that, that is The Time, just to let you know. So, sorry I couldn't find Morris' solo records in my collection, but perhaps next year. So that's what I have for The Time, and happy birthday to Morris Day, and I hope to hear more of The Time, The Original 7, very soon. Keep on funkin', guys. See you next time.